Hey, how's it going, everyone? Coach JC. Everyone got around for a good one today. Today we're going to talk about fatherhood in the second book I wrote, the Fatherhood, the only hood a man should claim. Just basically just want to go over just why I wrote the book, why it's important. It's Happy Father's Day this weekend. So I definitely just want to, share some light on fatherhood, misconception and everything. So here's the barber, Mr. Freddie right here.
What's going on, people?
Yeah, he do his own, he got his own channel too, he be trying to inspire, motivate people, for success. And I'm like, why not be a good chance to talk about it with Mr. Freddie,
Absolutely.
So yeah, when we talk about fatherhood, what's the one thing, what stands out to you though? Like, when you talk about fatherhood, you talk about, the weekend, what stands out to you?
Well, for me,
Yeah.
one of the main things that comes to my mind is the struggle to be a father, because there's so many definitions that are just thrown around that I think in this day and time causes a lot of confusion, especially because most fathers don't really have a role model, an example to follow after. So I think for those of us who understand the blueprint are blessed, because we definitely have an advantage over those who are struggling to still try to figure it out. So I think, the celebration is predicated upon the level of understanding that particular father has. You know what I'm saying? And how they've been executing that understanding in their family. Because one thing that I realize is that a lot of us are way more powerful than we think. So when we're doing this job right, we definitely have a tendency to be more celebrated. But for those of us who are struggling to figure out what this is, what this means, and are making more mistakes as fathers, unfortunately, I believe they're not celebrated as much.
Yeah. Take back what you said. Fatherhood is definitely a journey. I mean, when you're doing it right, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a grind, because it's like, it's a never-ending cycle,
Yeah.
A lot of people, they say, it's 18, but this is a lifetime commitment, It's kind of like,
Yep.
when you get married, there's no end date, there's a beginning date, there's a end date, which is, the last day that you breathing, you know what I mean? Because your kids are always going to need you, they always need support, they're always going to need your wisdom, understanding, and it doesn't change because you're 18, 20, 21. You know what I'm saying? I'm 33 right now. It's like, I still call my dad for wisdom, still call him for advice, When my father-in-law was alive, I always called him. He always gave me good advice too. So it's like, I always just try to cherish the moment you have with your daughter or your son, because it's like, you already know one day it's gonna be over with. Whether you leave or they're gonna leave, so you always have to be, proactive in your child's life, and not just on like certain days, like yes, Father's Day, poor people gonna be out celebrating with the kids.
Right.
Yeah, it's easy to be present on the birthday, holiday, graduation, or you see fathers out there, but it's all about the grit and grind on the days that you don't see, when you're going up to the school on certain, school conferences, going to the school, helping out with homework, putting the grind work there, helping out with their homework, helping out with lesson plans, taking that sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? A lot of it is sacrifice. As a men, we're putting on a lot of hats. Fathers is like, we're father, businessman, we're trying to focus on making our bread, we're trying to hustle, we're trying to, be there for, we have wives, we're there for our wives, we're there for our children, we're there for ourselves, we're there for our community. So it's so many hats and so many layers that we got to put on. It's like, man, it's like sometimes it can get exhausting, it can get overwhelming, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it at the end of the day to see your child grow each and every day, And I know for me, like just watching her from birth, because she was preemie, she was a NICU baby.
Okay.
So she was only like 10, 14 pounds, and so, because my wife, she had COVID, She had COVID, she had COVID pneumonia, and she was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and the baby was also in the hospital for 2 weeks. And I wasn't allowed to visit because I had COVID too. So I'm sitting at the house like, man, you know what I'm saying? This is you got your wife in the hospital, you got your baby in NICU, and you're in the house. And it's like, man, you know what I mean? It's like, what can you, hey, sweetie.
Is my ball in the car?
What's in the car?
Is my ball in the car?
I'm not sure.
But it looks legit.
You should have made this.
She wanna go get it right now.
Yeah, you see, I already told you, you guys are getting this haircut, sweetie. But yeah, like I said, you know, it's an honor, you know, to be a father and stuff. You know, you're gonna have those mishaps. You know, you're gonna have those days where you feel overwhelmed, you're gonna feel frustrated, you're gonna feel confused, but it's all worth the end of the day. You know, like I said, seeing my wife and seeing her from birth, then, you know, get ready. She did, you know, daycare, and last year she, you know, first year of preschool. I was like, man, time to go by fast. You know, now she already walking, talking, and already, you know, it's a handful. You know, so it definitely takes a village. You know, so it's not just you. You know, it's wife, it's grandparents, it's brother-in-law, sister-in-law. It takes a whole community to raise a child. You know, because you can't do anything by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very grateful for my parents, my dad, you know what I'm saying, my mom, my godmom, her, you know, my auntie, everybody, you know, it's a whole collective effort to raise a child. You know what I'm saying? From the top on down, it's not easy, but at the end of the day, it's not something I'm afraid about, something I wish for it. So we writing the book, it's just ensuring those positivity, because I know there's a lot of men and women, not women, but there's a lot of men that have these dark battles, you know, because what does it take, you know, to be a father and stuff. Sometimes people get overwhelmed and stuff. So when I talk about in the book, it's just like, you know, like give it to God, you know, give it to God. He's the one that's going to guide you. He's the one that's going to lead you and stuff, because he's the one that's going to give you all the answers, you know. And it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you got to show up. You know, even if your dad wasn't there for you, let that be the example. You know, like I want to be an example for my child. You know, I want to be present. You know what I mean? Like
my dad is wearing green in his school.
So your dad wasn't present. You know, I mean, you don't use it as a crutch. Use it as like don't continue to try to break it. Like, I want to be different. You know, I want to break this. You know, I want to be active. I want to see my child grow and stuff like that. You know, I want to be a parent. I want to be a parent. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It should motivate you a little bit more.
Yeah, you said something powerful when you said it's okay not to know.
Yeah, that's okay.
You know, because in the world we live in, like, they make you feel like if you don't have all the answers, like you some type of simp or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So for those that don't know, what do you suggest that they do?
As far as when they don't,
young fathers that don't know how to be fathers, the ones that aspiring to be fathers, but it's holding them back because they don't know the first thing about fatherhood. Like, what would you encourage them? In what way would you encourage them in their position that they are now? Like, what should they do?
I would definitely just like reach out to organizations and definitely fatherhood training, churches, and help out. I know how to go to a parenting class. I went to parenting classes. The church helped me out a lot too. So faith too. And even today, I still don't know everything. So I always lean on mentors, guys who've been there, older. I recently, I was talking to my brother-in-law too. He helped me out a lot too. Like he got me throughout the situations because he had like 4 or 5 kids. So it's like, so guys that already have kids, you know, I see they're doing what they need to do. Other mentors I've had, like they also guided me too. But at the end of the day, it's still you. It's still gonna be your own unique experience, whether it's good or bad. Whatever gems they can throw at you, it's still gonna be you though. So you still just have to really just continue to just go through it, you know, and just trust God. That's what I always do.
So at what point did you say, okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and write this book to be able to help other fathers, or what was the motivation?
Well, the motivation is just like the legacy, like what I want to leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm very passionate about kids and development. I used to work at a juvenile correctional office system, and I see too many young men, 15, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds getting locked up, and it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? I worked at a homeless shelter too, a youth homeless shelter, and it's like, you know, the homeless, you're 20, you're 18, 24, and it's like, damn, you know, you're homeless and stuff, and it's not good. And it's like, I just want to be a light to other fathers and stuff too.
Sure. How the idea come to your mind to write a book?
I was just like, you know, put pen to paper. I mean, it's a lot of stuff we brainstorm in our minds, but we don't never put it down for some reason. Like, just put it down the paper. I was like, let me stop procrastinating. Put the pen to paper and let me just write it. You know what I'm saying? I know someone who would benefit from it. Cause you don't know what people are going through, mental wise, health wise. And my book could just be like a light to what they're going through. Cause there's so many men, especially men, we go through these silent battles. We don't want to talk to nobody, we don't want to associate nobody. We always want to be isolated and stuff. But it's okay to, you know, to seek help. It's okay to get therapy. It's okay to get, you know, looked at and talk to by a professional. You know what I mean? Because everybody going through their own battles, their own tribulations. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. You know, because a lot of times we don't talk about mental health. We don't talk about, you know, what's going on. But at the end of the day, you know, we all got our own struggles. It can be financially, it can be mentally, it can be emotionally, it can be. There's a lot of stuff we're going through. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's the stigmatism of growing up. Oh, you gotta be tough, you gotta be strong, you gotta hold it in. You're a man. Don't be a. You know what I'm saying? It's those wrong stereotypes that we go through. You know what I'm saying? And when we continue to go through, we just need to kind of break those chains. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Have you had a chance to reach any young men yet and share the information that you placed in the book?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I have a group session that I talk to young men at the shelter I work at. I have a little group, like 8, 9, 10 of us. We just talk about, you know, men's stuff. Talk about, you know, fatherhood. We talk about life skills. And I'm just a big brother to a big uncle to them. You know. Because I know everybody's journey is different. Everybody's background is different. But at the end of the day, we all trying to go through the same destination. And my purpose in life is to empower others and to leave this world better than I found it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be some challenging days. It's gonna be some days that you don't feel good, but guess what? I still show up. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person I'm still gonna show up. Still gonna put the work in. You know, it don't matter what the situation is. You know, I be like the clock, just keep moving, keep going. You know. At the end of the day, I'm gonna keep going until my tombstone hits. You know. So I'm in the grave. You know. Yeah, you tired? Yeah, I'm tired. I'm not gonna work 2 jobs. I might, you know, record a video after work. But guess what? I'm still gonna keep fighting. I'm still gonna continue to push through. Because there's someone out there that needs it. You know what I mean? It's not for me. It's for the bigger cause. You know, it's always for that 6-year-old, that 7-year-old, that 8-year-old. You know, you don't never know who your advice, who your videos, who your advice is inspiring. Right. I just want them to know, like, you are enough. You're capable. You know, regardless of whatever situation is going on. You know, continue to fatherhood. You may be in and out. You could be locked up. You could be deceased. But you know, in a way, you have a greater Father in heaven. You know what I'm saying? He's always gonna look after you. He's always gonna make sure you're all right. You know what I mean? So always remember that.
So what would you say to the? And I'm asking this question because in the book Wild at Heart, there is a section where he talks about father wounds. And guys that are walking around, and even young ladies that are walking around as a result of, you know, something that their father had done, you know, to hurt them, something he said, something he might have done to hurt them when they were young. So what would you suggest that they do as part of their healing process to heal from those father wounds?
To healing, just understanding, like I said before, you gotta give yourself grace. You gotta give yourself a sense of understanding. You gotta give yourself, you know, I just need some therapy. I need some counseling. Because those are bridges, you know what I'm saying? For me personally, like I said, I grew up, my dad, he really wasn't so much involved. At the end of the day, I use that as like a positive. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, there's days that I wish, you know, don't have to dad. Yeah, there's days, at the end of the day though, end of the day, he's been a great, you know, grandfather to my daughter. You know what I mean? He already admitted his wrong.
Yeah.
I don't hold nothing to him. You know, we kick it, we chill out. You know, what I mean? I'm cool with him. You know, we best friends now. I'm not that person to hold the whole stuff on. You know, yeah, he messed up. Yeah, he admitted it. You know, we talk about it, we chop it up. At the end of the day, it's time to move forward. You know, what I'm saying? I'm a grown man. My job is to empower my wife, empower my daughter, make sure that, you know, they get the life that they deserve, you know?
Yes, sir.
I can't, my dad didn't do this, dad didn't do that. At the end of the day, nobody cares, you know? Nobody cares about your side story. It's either you're gonna get it or you're not gonna get it, you know what I mean? So it's like, for me, it's like, you know, I just use it positivity, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I never went without, you know, I'm good, you know what I mean?
So what would you say is the definition of father?
Fatherhood is you everything. You're the protector, you're the provider, you're there for emotional support, you're there for safety purposes. And you just like, you know, you the feather. You're the feather, you're the light, you know, to the children. You're your children. You know, you're the first man they're gonna come in contact with. Even before they go out there and date, even before they go out to anybody else, they're gonna see you dad.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you
Go ahead.
So you always just gotta just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. So in what ways would you say a father is to protect?
I'll say protection is you're protecting the well-being mentally. You know, when you're demonstrating how you talk to them, how you love on them. You know, some parents, some dads can be harsh loving, some dads can be, you know, nonchalant, but you know, you love them in a way that they know that they feel loved, they feel secure. You know, even when you're not there, they feel your love, they feel your warmth, acceptance.
In what ways, and I know some of that answer is going to be simple, but maybe you might think it's something or may have come up with something that we don't normally think about. So in what ways you say a father is to provide?
Provide, okay, we say provide. We always gonna think about financially.
Right.
You always gonna think about financially, you know what I'm saying, pay for this, pay for that. But you gotta provide the well stability of a child. Like, make sure they feel safe when they're out and about. Make sure they got what they need for school. Make sure they got what they need in life. You know what I'm saying? Teach them the skills that, hey, you gotta get out here. You gotta get out here and you gotta work for everything. You know, nobody's throwing handouts out here. Nobody's gonna give you a free pass. You know, you gotta grind for everything you want. You know what I'm saying? Nobody will give it to you. You know? And nobody cares about your style story. Nobody cares about upbringing or anything like that. So you always have to keep that in mind, though. You know, it's a source of light for everybody.
Yes, sir. In what ways would you say are we to be emotionally supportive? And that's another thing you listed.
Yeah, mostly it's just being in tune, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say they're in the park, you know, let's say you're in the park.
Mm-hmm.
You're not on your phone scrolling, you're visually there with them. You know, definitely would say that. You know, so that's one thing about, you know, being there. Yeah, I would basically say, you know, when they're out and about, when they're, you know, you're at the park, you're visually there. You go watching over them, make sure they don't get hurt, make sure they don't get injured and stuff. You're not on your phone scrolling through Facebook, Instagram. You're visually there. You're taking time for them. They have a question. You may have 100 things to do, but you still take that time just to talk to them and just to educate them and see what's going on and stuff like that. You know, it's just making an effort. You know what I'm saying?
we were just outside.
Are you developing, or have you developed any programs where you can sit down and talk to fathers outside of what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I talked to, and I had a few conferences when I talked to fathers. They had like a little fathers meetup at the school that I was a part of, and I sat down and chat with fathers and stuff. But I just feel like, it's important. We matter. At the end of the day, it's always like a stigmatism, like, okay, you're just babysitter, you're just a babysitter, but no, you're a parent. At the end of the day,
Right.
it's a shared responsibility. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You're more than just a babysitter. You're more than just you're a parent too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for a lot of women, they might look at you, okay, well, he doesn't know what he's doing, or he doesn't know how to do X, Y, Z, but at the end of the day, you want something done, and you're going to figure this stuff out, you know what I'm saying? But it's all about just prioritizing what's important to you, you know what I'm saying? We can sit there and prioritize the game, prioritize the Knicks, they just won the championship, so go Knicks. So like I said, we're prioritizing what we want in life, but then it's like today, we want to kind of do the bare minimum for our child, like it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
We all just gotta keep that in mind as well too.
Yeah, I believe as fathers, it is important that we do stuff like go to conferences. We get around other dads. Like you said, we get involved at our churches so that we can be able to, glean off of other dads that have been here, done that, been battle tested, learned all the lessons, made the mistakes, so that, we can be able to learn from them and be able to do better for our children.
Yeah, because if you talk to a lot of men, stepping away, it might have been drugs, might have been womanizing and stuff. You know what I mean? You like, do I want to go down that path, or want to go down, or I want to do something different? You know what I'm saying? I want to be present. What I want to leave here. That's why I'm so big on legacy. I'm so big on, setting a good foundation and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Because you don't ever know, what they might come up to.
Yeah.
And also too, when the child get older, they're gonna remember them days when you're not available. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna remember that more than anything that you bought from and stuff. So you always gotta make sure you're present there. I know what time we get busy, hectic. When you grind and you hustle and trust it, you're gonna be like, you're gonna feel overwhelmed, but it's all worth it. Like I said, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Very rewarding.
Was there an event that happened in your life, or somebody that you saw when you were little, growing up, or whatever, that kind of made you say, I want to be that. I want to be a dad one day. What was it that sparked it for you?
For me, it was just seeing my mom, my godmom, seeing both of them. I'm like, I wonder how it would be like me being the father. We have my own child,
Mm-hmm.
we have my wife, we have my own family and stuff. Like, how would that be like?
Yeah.
I just think from that on, it's like I wanted to be a dad, especially a girl dad.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted a little girl for some reason.
Oh, wow.
So I grew up with brothers. I had 2 brothers.
Yep.
So it's like, I want to be like, what would be different? Like raising a girl as opposed to, raising a young man,
Sure.
That was like the spark for me. And also too, leaving a legacy, you know what I'm saying? I never want to just to like pass away and I don't have any, children to, look up to.
Yeah. Oftentimes, we set goals when it comes to, our careers, when it comes to, certain financial things, when it comes to even, family goals, how many children you want, what kind of house you want, and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So, have you ever thought about, or have you set that up to systems for us to be able to set up fatherhood goals?
Yeah, I mean, that's something definitely work on. My fatherhood goal really, I wanted her to go to any kind of college she wanted to, no cost, because I want her to be, whatever she wanted to be. She can be a doctor, she's a lawyer, pharmacist, whatever she wanted to do.
Yeah.
I don't want her to have no struggle with the student loan and that stuff. So the work starts right now. It don't start when they in college, when they high school, middle school. You know, so it starts right now. You know, he put the roots to the ground running right now. It's still that right now. So when they get of age, they're like, you just one thing they ask you is like, what college you going to? You going to Georgia? You going to Texas?
Yeah.
Wherever you going to go to? You know what I mean? Like, because you putting the work in right now. You making sure you studying. You making sure you on top of things. You know, you being very attentive of what's going on. You know what I mean? You're not being, you know, absent. You're not really not knowing what's going on. And like I said, that's why it's a teamwork. You gotta have a plan. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a system. You know what I'm saying? Most successful businesses, successful. You know, you gotta have a system in place. You know what I'm saying?
Are there any good memories that stand out with you with your father?
Yeah. I definitely say, you know, like I said, donuts for dad. I mean, him going to my graduation in elementary school was huge. You know, I was like, yeah, you know, I was just laughing. I always just smile every time I think about it. You know, because he's always been there. He's always been like a phone call away. You know. And the thing about it is, I've never had nothing bad spoken about him. It's always been positive to him. Yeah. You know, so, you know, and I've always, and every time we talk, you know, it's always been positive. You know, we just hang out like it's normal. You know what I mean? Yeah, there was some beef in the day. Like I said, I'm grown. I can't hold on to all that. I'm not going to release it all that because a lot of people don't have a father to grow, to wake up to. You know, don't have a father, don't have any, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just grateful, you know what I mean? But he's still a part of, at least Olivia's life. I'm like, oh, that's great, you know. You see her every day, you go over there, you parenting, you know, you watching over her, make sure she's doing all right. You know, it's a blessing, you know. You know what I'm saying? Even like the last year with Father's Day, we went to Braves game. I was like, yeah, my dad right there.
Okay,
yeah, to Braves game. I was like, oh, yeah. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we're good, you know. So it's good. And another note, you know, you can't get upset and mad if your kids, they don't want to listen to when they get a certain age, you know. So it's like, even for the working early, you know, how can you sit there and get upset with them?
Yes, sir.
A lot of fellas, they get upset, oh, my child, they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to, I'm like, how you gonna get upset with them and you ain't put no work into it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact.
That one time build a foundation, like, you know, oh, daddy want to hang out with me? Okay, cool. All right, here we go, you know? And yeah, so, but it took a lot of strength. You know, it's kind of like a person's place, you know, whether they want to deal with a father or not, you know, a lot of reasons, a lot of trauma going on why you don't want to deal with your father, but that's understandable too. It's just, you got to realize you have your chance right now, you know what I mean? Don't wait till they get older, you know, they're going to be impacted by the world. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of things too, you know, you a father, regardless of the situation with your mother, child, mom, it's still your responsibility regardless. Right. Whether y'all divorced, whether y'all, whatever, it's still your responsibility. It doesn't matter what's going on, my wife and I, like, that's my baby right there. It don't matter what's going on. I still gonna make sure I'm there for her. It earned this, you know? You know. That's why, you know, you gotta be cautious of who you hanging around, folks, you know what I mean, your buddies. You know, dealing, you know, legal stuff, getting locked up, that's time away. You know, you can't get that time back.
Can't get it back.
That's the thing, though. You just spent 5-10 years locked up. Come on now. Right. You didn't get that time back.
Can't get it back.
So you always just gotta.
What are you doing? My dad makes videos.
So when it comes to raising young boys, at what point, and I got another question on the girl side too, when it comes to raising young boys, at what point do you believe we should start preparing them for fatherhood?
Fatherhood, I definitely have the conversations 13, 14, 15 years old just to get started. You know what I'm saying? Because I would definitely tell them, you know, protect yourself when you out there, you know. It ain't just for the women. Oh, a lot of women, you hear the women. You hear the women, they be like, protect the woman. But now the man, you gotta have self-control as a man too. But you don't want to be out here just having sex with all these different women and stuff. You have all these kids and stuff. You can't share yourself with. You can't be there because you got so many kids just screwing around, you know. You know what I'm saying? So, You know, you want to protect your seed, protect your family legacy. You know, for me, it was personal. I'm not just about to just have someone have my child I'm not married to. Like, that would be personal. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And yeah, that's also one thing like that. It still need like your legacy. You know, you bring your family name. You know,
Yeah.
you can't just be out here just having sex with anybody. You know, he's talking young age. You know, he wants you to make sure you get married, make sure you have family. The same thing. Young ladies are getting told. Men need to be told the same thing. You can't be out here just willing and dealing with different women. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna mess you up.
Yeah.
That's gonna mess your priorities up. You should be struggling. You ain't focused on what you need to focus on. Your purpose, your vision, what God got for you. You out there just dealing with different women and stuff. That's just time wasted. You wasting all the money, energy, taking this, checking out. You ain't even really trying to get with her, really. You know, all this for some booty and some stuff. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You gotta use the head on your shoulder, not between your legs. That's the issue with a lot of men. They
Right.
putting all these days and stuff. Like, come on, man, you ain't doing all that. You gotta have self-control, man.
And one fight that a lot of men don't realize they're gonna have is if you have a child in a state like the state of Georgia and you're not married to the mother, in order to have rights for that child, you're gonna have to go through what's called a legitimization process.
Okay.
You're not automatically gonna have rights.
Yeah.
And a lot of brothers get caught off guard with that type of situation because there's certain things that they want to be able to do with and for their child, and they gotta find out the hard way, and they gotta go through this whole process in order to get legitimized for them to be able to have rights, you know, in order to be able to have, like, you know, visiting time, and when it also comes to, you know, legal custody, being able to split legal custody, things of that nature. You don't get that automatically if you have a child with a woman and you're not married with her in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, that's
A
what.
lot of brothers don't know that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's why I say you always gotta be protective as far as who you lay down with.
Yeah.
You know, because even if you protect yourself, you know, if he's talking about you pregnant, you can be like, man, you be careful, be cautious. You ever get responsible when you lay down with somebody.
Yeah.
Because the baby can, you know, and like I said, pregnancy, it just starts. You know, when it starts, you know, it don't start when the baby come out. It starts holding, so it's like, man.
Right.
So you gotta be really cautious out here.
Yes, sir.
And you don't be one of them brothers that's, man, they got a child, they 5 to 10 years old, you don't know nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go through DNA tests and everything, you know?
Yes, sir.
So, you don't want to do that.
So in general, I know you want to tell, you know, we don't want to tell the whole book, but
Yeah.
what aspect of fatherhood or what key points about fatherhood does the book cover?
Oh, it just covers, like basically important, you know, it covers, you know, even if you had bad experience with your dad or fatherhood, people in general, you know, always, I went through your part, you know, for your children. You know, even before you have children, make sure you have a plan, have a vision, you know what I'm saying? And once they come, they're here, you know, there's no, you know what I'm saying? So just always just be self-aware and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, self-awareness is very important. There's a lot of people that think they are something that they're not, oftentimes.
Yeah.
And if you're not self-aware, you won't respond to life the way that you should.
Yeah.
Because you have an image in your mind of who you are that is incorrect. And, you know, life will humble you real fast if you ain't got that together.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because it's like we all have like, oh, I'm a barber, oh, I'm a chef, oh, I'm a this, I'm a that, but who are you really? You know, at the end of the day, when you take all the layers off, you know, who are you? You know?
Yeah.
And we all think, oh, okay, I'm this. You're more than just your job title, you're more than just your job description, you know?
Yes, sir.
Who are you?
Yeah. I recently watched a movie, and there was a lot of, it's a kung fu movie, martial arts movie.
Yeah.
And there was some kidnappers that kidnapped this man's daughter. And the kidnapper was set up by another kid, acting like he needed some help. But it was really to get her away from, you know what I'm saying, her father's vision, so they can go ahead. And the way they kidnapped her, they threw a trash bag over her head and threw her in the back of a dump truck.
Oh, wow.
So, a pickup truck, I'm sorry. So, he came to find out as he was searching for his daughter, and you know, of course, he had to fight for her, that she was kidnapped by some dudes who was trying to traffic actually a whole bunch of kids. And so not only did he save his daughter, he saved those children as well. And he had help. He had a guy that also knew martial arts that ended up helping him in the movie. And at the end, they asked him, "Who are you?" Because he ended up not only saving his daughter, but saving all of those other children. So they asked him, "Who are you?" And he basically said, "I'm just a father." And I think that speaks to what you talked about earlier, and a lot of men feeling that being a father wasn't enough. And it's important that fathers do know that they are enough, that job right there alone, you know, is worth way more than a lot of, you know, what we see it weighed out to be in this society. So what do you think can help fathers further understand that and have that self-awareness that'll help them to keep their heads up regardless to what they go through in daily life?
Yeah, life.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's just, you know, regardless of what's going on, I said, Father in heaven. You know, he's the person who guides you. He's the one.
Yes, sir.
You know, he's the one created you. You know, even before you picked up a shelf tab, even before you picked up a clipper, you know, he already had a vision for you.
Yeah.
So always keep that in mind. You know, you are enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's a silent battle. Like, you know, we're not doing I overcompensate myself. Oh, I gotta work more hours. Oh, I gotta do this and that. You know, regardless of whether we say it or not, it's always like, even me, I'm like, man, I ain't doing it. I gotta do more. You know, like I can work 12 hours. I can work 14, 16 hours. I'm still not doing it. I still gotta do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, man.
You said the key is staying tapped in with our Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
And I love that, man.
And then having like a place of acceptance.
Yep.
Like, okay.
I love that because nowadays, I mean, you know, the wife can be looking on social media and see, you know, all of the different vacations that different families and stuff is going on or whatever, and they might turn around and want to do the same thing. But y'all might have a whole game plan set up, you know what I'm saying, to where you have a set time to do all of those things. So that, what you talked about, you know, leaning in on the Heavenly Father will definitely help keep us grounded during those times so we can stay focused on, you know, our lane and what we're supposed to be doing with our family. As opposed to like, you know, looking out the front door or looking out to see what the neighbors are doing. Because at the end of the day, what I learned about comparison is
It's a thief of joy.
is definitely a thief of joy. It's a thief of joy.
Because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people's insight is on social media and stuff. So you always have to be constantly aware of, you know.
Yes, sir.
Your 10 steps going to be different than another person's 10 steps. You know what I mean?
Right.
Your path's going to be different. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When God got in store for you, it's going to be different than what they got in store for other person. I don't never compare myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're doing this, you're doing that. Okay, what they got to do with us? We still got to do our part. We got to put the work in. At the end of the day, you don't know what kind of work they done, you know, to get to their ass. So it's like, I can't really have that comparison.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I don't know how much work they done put in before. You just looking at the results. So you don't know how many days they done slept in the house, they slept in the car. Right. They slept in the office.
How much debt they putting themselves into.
You don't know what's going on.
Because that could be all credit cards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got to pay all that back.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what I find with social media is what you see on most people's social media are their highlights.
Yeah.
And when it comes to comparison, most people are comparing their low points in their life with somebody else's highlights that they post on social media.
Yeah, because like I said, if anybody will tell you everything roses, all roses, and then and they're telling you a lie. Like, you're going to go through the struggle, you go through the hardship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's going to be times you're going to feel defeated. You're going to feel, you know, like you got the world on your shoulders, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't let this stuff get to you. You know, always make sure, you know, a firm foundation, you know, have a well to replenish from, you know.
That's right. That's right. So what would you say to those fathers who feel like they're alone? And, you know, you did mention earlier about our Heavenly Father, but what about those who haven't really tapped in and established a relationship with our Heavenly Father? What advice would you give to them?
I'll just give them, I mean, just, I say, just have deep breath, you know, center yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You might need this activity to help you out. You know, might need a walk, you might need to do yoga, you might need exercise, or, you know, they take you a walk,
Mm-hmm.
you know, sit in the park for a few hours.
Yeah.
Anything to kind of get you, you know, to a level of stability, a level of comfort, you know.
Yes, sir.
Because it can be overwhelming at times.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But life ain't easy, you know. Life be life, and life happens, you know. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's not gonna be all roses and dandy, and it's not gonna be, you know, the wolf fans well too. But at the end of the day, you know, you gotta keep pushing,
Mm-hmm.
You know, the old saying, you know, you try on enough shoes, you're gonna find the shoe that fits you.
Yeah. What would you say to young, maybe one day aspiring fathers that's looking for a role model? For one, you know, what kind of role model would you have them? Would you prefer that they watch and learn from?
I definitely do. You know, men that season, men that you see, you know, they're loving towards their wives, loving towards their children, you know, very respectful and stuff. So that too, you know, I thought about that too. Because a lot of times you talk about, you see men, you know, they're not really inside the school, they're not inside the household. One time you really see a man really, if he's your coach, he might be your social studies teacher.
Yeah.
Maybe that one teacher out of like 50 women, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the crowd, so it's like, you know what I mean? You're dominated by women if you think about it. So, or you may have an uncle, he may just come over for, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, etc. So, you know what I'm saying? It definitely gets you a mentor, or, you know what I mean? Or have clubs like Boys and Girls Club, or different organizations where, you know, you can have a mentor just, you know, sit down and talk to you and just check in on you on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I know my wife and I, we're big on volunteering and giving back, and we do what we call the sleep out for Covenant House for homeless youth. You know,
Okay.
we bring awareness to the home youth, youth homelessness. So,
Yes, sir.
you know, we sleep out it's a Thursday before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
We sleep out and bring awareness. We've done this for the past 4 years, so.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So we do all that, and we done like Hands on Atlanta. You know, we're doing different volunteer activities, so you never know what people need, and we're trying to reach everybody. You know, we're not just trying to reach people in our circle that look like us. We're trying to reach everybody. We're trying to make the whole world a better place. You know?
Absolutely. So that sleep out, if somebody wants to get involved with that, how could they do that?
I mean, you just gotta register.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we have campus in Johnson Road, really right up the street from the barbershop, which is in Howell Mill. So basically Johnson Road. So basically every November before Thanksgiving, they gather in union to support those in need. And the money is very rarely bring with clothes, shoes, dental, with medical needs, so that's what money's going to.
So now that you're here, right?
Yeah.
You're a full-fledged dad. What kind of advice would you give to your younger self to prepare you for what you got going on now?
I mean, words can't really describe, because I know, like, we about to go to the movies and stuff, and I would probably say it's gonna be a journey. It's gonna be a journey. It's gonna be a journey. But enjoy this time when you don't have any kids. Enjoy this time. Try to focus on what you need. Focus on everything's gonna come. Don't be in a rush to get older and stuff. You gotta really enjoy this time. Prioritize this time too. You know what I mean? It can be hectic. It can be challenging. It can be frustrating. It can be a lot. You know what I mean? It can be real shit. That's all working at the end of the day. Not gonna lie to you.
On a little lighter note, man, it is often said that mothers always get way better gifts on Mother's Day than we do on Father's Day, man. What's up with that?
Yeah. I mean, I've never really been like a gift person, but like, I know a lot of people are. So I mean,
Yeah.
That's it. I just had a good gift for waking up. That's all I need. So long as everybody else straight, I'm good. That's what top of something like servant leadership.
Yep.
That's how leadership I'm all about. It ain't about me. It's about we for people. I'm good. Like, I'm like, I got a roof on my head, food, shelter. I'm good. Like, personally, I don't need to. Oh, let's do this. I'm like, I'm good. I'm basic dude. I'm going to IHOP. I'm going to Waffle House. Like, I don't need to go to a bougie restaurant. I'm no bougie chain or no watch. I'm good. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Like, then they relax. Like, I'm chilling. Everybody's different. Everybody have their own ways. I'm like, that's for me. I'm chilling. I'm good. As long as y'all good, I'm straight.
You took a beer down and let it work out.
You can work out.
Okay. Yeah, so that was kind of leading to my next question. It's like,
oh no, you think
what kind of things should we ask for for Father's Day, man? 'Cause I'm the same way. I don't ask for a whole lot, man. The question comes to me, what do you want for Father's Day? And I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that type of person. I got a long laundry list of things that I want. Like you said, I'm happy to get up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And even to have the strength to go forth and do what I got to do to provide for mine. You know what I'm saying? So
for me, like, I'm just like, if you talk about sports that, we got the Braves game.
Right.
Probably if it's a football game, take us through whatever his sports game is, on the Falcons fans. So everything was good for me.
Yeah.
Whatever got necessarily interested in, but it's like, for us, it's like, we'll say that, and then we be like, we put disrespected on the Father's Day. Like, we'll say that, it's like oxymoron for us. Like, it's like, we don't want nothing. It's like, oh, we feel disrespected. I'm like, so it's funny, bro. It's cool. But, I mean, honestly, man, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm good. Like, my whole family is good. I'm straight.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yep, as long as my people's good, I'm good. They said that, so I remember, sometimes on sitcoms you'll see that when the dads get like the worst gifts, they get like a tie.
But also too, that
lights up.
Yeah, like, socks and stuff like that.
Socks.
But at the same time, though, it's kind of like I said earlier, like what you put into it.
Yeah.
You pour it into your wife, you pour it into then it's like, it doesn't actually like bring you, get you gifts that you enjoy, but if you're not putting the work in, how can you expect anything,
Right.
Like I said, my wife, she spoils me, so I don't really have to worry, I'll be like, nah, I'm good, like, I might get something like, why do you get this? Let's take this back, But it's all out of love, though. I ain't gonna lie, though.
So there is, of course, we know in Scripture God says, honor your mother and father so your days will be long on earth. So my question for you is, what makes you feel honored as a father?
I mean, I'll just say, just waking up, like seeing my daughter or wife, and their eyes open up every day. It's always enlightening, because it's a good chance that they could have been here, because they both ill, And both easily, they couldn't have been here easily. God could have easily took them away, so I'm blessed for that, you know what I mean? Like, man, God did so much, you know, like, man. Yeah, when she had, you know, the COVID pneumonia, I'm like, man, crazy right there, man. She was on oxygen and stuff. I was like, man. I just remember everybody was calling me and asking what's going on, how's she doing, how's the lady doing. They had like the emergency C-section. I'm like, man, crazy.
Yeah.
But it's very traumatic right there.
Sure.
Man, ain't no way to go. Like, man. And like the one my phone, I want to be like left to myself. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I got a newborn baby in the hospital, my wife in the hospital. God. I don't know how. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Your baby girl, full of energy, full of life.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't no little time, you know, out no more. You was just talking, speaking. That's why I say the joy of fatherhood. You know, you think about it, like when that small, and now you gotta be in kindergarten in August. Like, it's crazy to think about it, you know.
Kindergarten, August. That's a blessing. So how can those that want to get a copy of the book, how can they get a copy of it?
You go on Amazon, Amazon.com is there.
Sure.
Click on the link.
How you doing, sir?
You click on the link. Like I said, it's there. Like I said, my goal in life is to inspire others. Just to lead this world a little bit better. You know, so we all not perfect. We all have our own flaws, including me. A lot of flaws at the end of the day. And that's how person I'm gonna keep learning, I'm gonna keep growing, and keep trying to be the best person God need to be. You know, it's not, you know, I didn't write a book like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, no, I have a lot of issues, a lot of problems, but I'm gonna keep going until the casting drops. You know, that's me. You know, and there is no backup plan. I am the backup plan. There is none of that. You know, like.
So once again, what's the name of the book?
Fatherhood, the only hood a man should claim. You know what I mean?
Fatherhood, the only hood a man should claim.
Yeah. A lot of fathers, we push ourselves with gangs or work title, but we come down the hood, you know, you talking about fatherhood, that's the only hood I know. I don't know no other hood. I'm not part of no gangs, none of this. I just know I'm just trying to do what I need to do with my child. I cut out all the distractions, the time wasted. I'm just about prioritizing my family and my peace of mind. That's all I'm worried about.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. I think you're definitely going to be able to impact a lot of lives.
To the left or to the right? Or to the left?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be in you, not on you. That's for in you. You know, it's kind of what I do is in me. It's not, you know, it's not gambling. It's not something, you know, really, you know, feel for people, you know. So I know a lot of people, they go through a lot of trial, a lot of toxic relationships.
Yeah, let's go down. You can't just stay down. You have to move left or right. Okay, right or left. Yeah, it's it.
But no, we're talking about you. What you doing with your YouTube channel, man? Like, it ain't really about me. It's about.
You can't stay down, okay? You have to stay
Well,
up.
I can be found at Click Up the Commas on all platforms, and I really want to be able to help to raise up the next generation of barbers, because one of the main complaints that I hear from a lot of people is that most barbers are just not professional. You know what I'm saying? So
Be careful.
it's important that we not only build the skills and get the swag and all that, get the latest clippers and all that good stuff, right? But we also make sure that we remember that we're in a people business. You know, so being in a people business, you know, we have to build that skill as well. Dealing with people and getting involved with people. Now, if you don't care about people, I wouldn't suggest you be a barber.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Work with some computers or something like that. You know what I mean? Because You're going to be dealing with people all the time and all different types of personalities and backgrounds and all of these things. So I want to be able to help them to really master dealing with people and really caring for people. Because at the end of the day, these people are not our people. They're God's people. You know, that's coming and sitting in your chair.
Yeah.
So if your Savior, if your Messiah was to come and sit in your chair, how would you treat him? You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, how the mindset we should have with everybody that comes into our seat. You know, because like Jesus talked about, you know, if you haven't done these things to the least of these, if you haven't fed me, if you haven't looked out for me when I was in prison, things of that nature, he said, then you haven't done it to me. So, and the Bible also tells us to do everything as that we do as unto the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if we have that mindset, we'll have A1 5-star customer service every single time. And we will never have to worry about money. We'll never have to worry about connections. We'll never have to worry about opportunities, open doors, anything like that. Because, you know, if we seek first the kingdom of God, we promise all things to be added unto you.
Yeah, because there's the one video you had with the logo. The logo.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, so, you know, I really want to help the next generation of barbers, man, come up and do a whole lot better, take the torch and do something great.
I said you on your way. I appreciate your professionalism. You know, the conversation's always been impactful. You know, I feel connection. You know, not like you just sit in the chair. It's like, okay, you'll put your hair and that's it. It's a real, you get the full experience. You know, so I really appreciate it. That's why I keep coming. It's like, man, keep coming here. Oh, yeah.
I appreciate you, bro. I wish you much success.
Like I said, I'm always about helping. Too much hatred. I'm always about looking at other people. I ain't about them. Like,
right.
I try to set something up so we can empower each other. You know, you don't never know who needs anybody. You know, it's the vessel. You know, so we're just trying to help out. You know.
Appreciate you. Blessed weekend. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, thank you. You as well too.
Sir, thank you, bro.